السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا آمين يا رب العالمين. So here we are with our session number 179 for Quranic Arabic grammar, in which we are doing the review of Surah Taha, Nahw, and Sarf. Let's start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So in our last session, we were completing our verse number 64. And if I'm not mistaken, we have completed it. I hope everyone remembers that we have labeled waqad, how we have labeled waqad. If I asked you, what are you going to put for waw here? Just a quick recap so that before we start learning something new. The waw can be waw hal, it can be halia. And if I ask you, how many types of connectors are there between hal and sahibul hal? There are two types of connectors that you are going to see. One is a pronoun, barakallahu fiki. Are you all able to see my screen? Because I'm sharing it from my end. Are you all able to see my screen? Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And let me change my name to my name. 1 second. So, okay, Bismillah. Okay, so alhamdulillah, we have learned in the last session that there is going to be either waw halia that is going to connect jumlatul halia with sahibul hal, or there will be a pronoun. Everyone should memorize this by heart. If they have not yet, please make sure that you know this. There are two types of rabit. The one is the pronoun itself, and the second is waw halia. Some sentences will have both pronoun and waw halia as a connector. Is this true or false? Some sentences can have both, right? In some sentences, you are going to see both, right? So in case of a sentence, you may see waw or hal, or you may see a pronoun, but in some, you will see both of them. In this case, فَأَجْمِعُوا كَيْدَكُمْ ثُمَّ tu safa. What is there? If you are calling this waw or hal, is there one connector or there are two present in this sentence? The pronoun in the original sentence, which is ajmi'u, jumlatul failya, failul amr, mabni ala hasbin noon, is waw al-jama'a, right? And it is referring to antum. Do you all remember that? Whenever we have a standard failul amr, we have antum there. In this sentence, وَقَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْيَوْمَ مَنِ اسْتَعْلَى, are you seeing huwa, or are you seeing second person? You are seeing waw al-hal, right? There is only one connected here, which is waw al-hal, and it can suffice as your rabit, right? This is what we have been doing, that your one, in some cases, you may find one and it may suffice, because this is what is the rule for al-hal, right? Now, when you look at it, you have qad, which is harf tahqiq. What is the purpose of qad? A quick recap of what we have learned in our earlier sessions. It is for tawqeed, right? And tahqiq, right? In Quran, basically, you are going to see it with tawqeed, for tawqeed and tahqiq. For the rest of the cases, there may be other usages of qad as well, but in Quran, it is mainly seen for this purpose. Especially when it is seen before fail madin, the main purpose is tawqeed. The main purpose is tawqeed, but tahqiq. However, in there are cases when you will see it is used for taqreeb and as well, but mainly when you see qad for with fil mudari, there may be for taqleel, and that can be the purpose as well. But in Quran, mainly it has been used as a tool of emphasis. Do you all remember? Right? So here, aflaha is fail madin, and if I'm not mistaken, we figured out the file for this was The file for this fail madin was, who is the file? Is man. And man in this case is mausula, and you guys have already told me because it connected whatever is before it to whatever is after it, and what is after it is jumlatul failya, fail madin, wal file dhamir mustatir, huwa in fail ista'ala, right? Ista'ala has file dhamir mustatir huwa, right? It is mabni al fathatul muqaddara al alif, and this man, the status of this man now is rough. Everyone knows this, or is there confusion among you guys? So everyone knows this. Barakallahu feek. Okay, now let's move on to learn the next verse. Okay, now it's and al yoma mafulun fihi. You can, the best thing for al yoma or words like this is, I prefer, and you will see it is going to be coming up as muta'alliq bil, right? You are going to see in most books as muta'alliq bil. So keep it like that. It's going to, save you from any confusion when you are referencing to different books. You can, it is mafulun, when if somebody is going to be successful, yes, it is at the same time. But if you can just want to keep it simple, you can just say this is a zarf. It is a zarf and it is muta'alliq bil fail. Clear? Hmm? And that way, that's going to save you from a lot of confusion. Sometimes we all tend to forget things if we are not practicing very much. So now comes your verse number 65 of Surah Taha, and you are going to see qalu. Qalu is starting your jumla. What kind of a sentence you are seeing? Jumlatul failya, fail madin. Give me the file for this. Wow is the file, and wow, the name for this wow is Wabil Jama'a. And what is the name for this alif after after wow? Anyone? Fariqah. Aliful Fariqah. Where do you see this alif coming? In Arabic, in general Arabic. I'm asking about Arabic. I'm not talking about Quranic Musaf. Okay, I'm not talking about Quran. In Quranic Rasmul Khat, no, I'm just asking in general. It is going to be seen after Wabil Jama'a. Okay, it is going to be seen after Wabil Jama'a, and here it is again seen after Wabil Jama'a, and it is, it has no purpose, right? It has no purpose. Just, it tells you this wow before is it for plurality, right? It is for plurality, right? You can also see it after Wabil Jama'a too. Okay. Now comes you have determined your fail and a file. The next thing in Jumlatul Failya is fail wa file wa maf'ul. Do you see any maf'ul here? Yes or no? There is a maf'ul. That is a statement that we see after qala yakulu, and we have done it so many times. Today I'm going to skip. I'm not going to go over it, okay? So today, Ya Musa, Ya Musa, Ya Musa, one word or two words? Two words. Ya is going to be harf nida. Harf nida, everyone should, this has been covered many times. So nida wa munada, very well done. Munada is Musa, and Musa has alif, arabu taqdiri. When it has a arabu taqdiri, what will be the haraka on the alif? Are you sure? Are you sure? It is munada, which is ism alam. Ism alam. So go back to ism alam. If you have a word that is ism alam, what kind of a harakat did you see on that? Barakallahu fik Shamim. It is mabni ala dam. It is mabni ala dam. Fi mahalli nasbin. Mabni ala dam fi mahalli nasbin. Okay? So it will have the same roots. Very importantly, you must know, and this we may have covered in our previous sessions if you go back to recordings. Musa is going, it is it is alam, right? It's some alam, and which is mufrad. Yes or no? Just treat it like Adam. Just think of it like Adam. What is Adam? Same as Musa, right? If I ask you about the same rules that you are going to use for Adam alayhi salam, for the name of Adam alayhi salam, you are going to apply them on Musa alayhi salam, because alif is having implied harakas. Implied harakas means that we are assuming with qiyas, we are going to say this is going to be mabni ala dam fi mahalli nasbin. Why is it fi mahalli nasbin? Where do you see details? This, no, this is not that. No, Sister Faiza. What act ya acts as a fail? Unadi or yunadi? Unadi or yunadi? So can you say here that here also we are seeing hasful fail? Is fail there? We can say this is hasful fail. And can we say every time there is a nida munada construction, there is always wajib for a fail to be omitted? And this Musa is the maful bihi for that unadi or yunadi. Yes or no? Hmm? What do you think? If I call it like that, you all agree? Because this is the session where very the smartest brains of grammars are working. So and so expectations are also set according to what types of brain we are dealing with. So alhamdulillah, barakallahu fikum, fi kunna, because mostly you are women here. So I don't think there's any brother who has joined yet. So alhamdulillah, barakallahu fiq. So Musa, now go back. I'm going to recap. Musa treated like Isam Alam Mufrad, okay? Just like Adam, just like Shuaib, just like Salih. Whenever they are being called, the haraka at the end is Dhamma. The same Dhamma you are going to apply on Musa. Sister Faiza, you might be confused about, when we are talking about flexibility, it is, Niyaba Anil Fatha or Niyaba Anil Kasra actually. Niyaba Anil Kasra is when we are talking about Mamnu min as-sarf. When if Musa is jar in status, if this very Musa is jar in status, Li Musa, if it was Li Musa, what will be the haraka, implied haraka on alif? Give me that implied haraka. It is going to be kasra. Okay. Okay. Do partly flexible. Do partly flexible take kasra. They do not. They do not. My dear sisters, they do not take kasra. If you look at this word, is it ism alam? Yes or no? Tasneem, you are absolutely right. It is going to be fatha, niyaba anil kasra, li'annahu mamnu min as-sarf. It is ism alam. It is ism alam, number one. Number two, is it a foreign name? Is it a foreign name? It is a foreign name. Two conditions met. Should it go to fully flexible category or partly flexible? Mamnu min as-sarf or munsarif? It is partly flexible. Partly flexible. Do they take kasra? They never take kasra, right? So the implied, when you have to put a haraka on this, you are going to say it is majroor bil fatha tul muqaddara alil alif niyaba anil kasra. Which niyaba anil kasra, it because li annahu mamnu min as-sarf, because it cannot take, it has to take. This is a naib. This fatha is a naib for kasra because this word is a mamnu min as-sarf word when Musa is jar in status. In that case, here it is nasb in status, so you are just simply going to say this is mabni ala dam, mabni ala dam fi muhalli nasbin, because when you have ism alam which is mufrad and it is one being called, the word ends with dhamma. Okay, alhamdulillah. So now comes your sentence, the ya Musa, and what is, this is jumlatun nida la mahalla laha min al i'rab. But this whole thing, if I have to highlight from here to here, what is this? Maqulul qawl fi mahalli nasbin. We have covered it now enough many times, right? It is, fi mahalli nasbin maqulul qawl, right? Now comes after Musa, ya Musa, this was jumlatun nida. This is whole sentence, jumlatun nida. Can I call it whole sentence? Where I'm saying that unadi or yunadi is mahzoof and Musa is mafulun bihi li fi'li mahzoof. When I'm detailing everything out. When I'm detailing everything out, for now, you are going to say ya harf nida, Musa munada. But when I'm putting details underneath, I'm going to say that this is jumlatun nida, la mahalla laha min al-i'rab, because my, jumlatun nida are la mahalla. And the next thing is Musa is maf'ul bihi li fi'li mahzoof unadi aw yunadi. And then comes when there is jumlatun nida, like when there is jumlatul shart, there is jawabu shart. When there is jumlatun nida, there is jawabun nida. And jawabun nida is whatever comes after munada, that is your jawabun nida. And it is also la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. Imma is starting your jawabun nida, and this is something that we have not covered. Okay, so imma is tafsiliya. Okay, tafsiliya, very well done. So imma tafsiliya, can you can you ever think of it as combination of in plus ma? Can it be shartiya? Can it be shartiya by any chance? Imma, not here. Okay, he it can be shartiya, but here, can you call it shartiya? It can be, but here, can we consider it as imma shartiya? Yes or no? In plus ma, that is in plus ma, and after it, not here. Not here, because if it was imma, you are going to see fail mudari, right? You are going to see fail mudari majzoom. And mostly in Quran, you are going to see that fail mudari majzoom litasalahu binunu tokid. You are usually seeing you will be seeing that imma shartiya with nunu tokid. Yeah, is this clear? Here we are seeing another harf after it. We are seeing another harf after it, which is an. An tulkiya. So an is, what is an here? There is a harf an, her an masdariya from our hurufe nasiba group. From our hurufe nasiba group, and you are seeing tulkiya after it, mansoob. And how is it mansoob? Is it showing you it's clear fatha, or what is happening? Yes, it is mansoob bil fatatu zahira. There is a clear fatha, the fatha that is zahir, that is clearly visible on letter ya. Everyone with me? If you are with me, type 1. An tulqiya, when you have an tulqiya, what do we see here? Are we seeing here as jumlatul failure now, or with an there is something happening? Fail is ma'loom or majhul. Tulki. It was tulki which became tulkiya. My dear sisters, tulkiya, lam, qaf, ya are the root letters. Ta is alamatul mudare that has a dhamma on it. It is ma'loom. It is ma'loom because it belongs to which group of af'al? Go back to your surf. I want to know, is it group 1, group 2, group 3? It is mazid. It is mazid bi harf or harfain or bi salasat al ahraf. Now this is, you took me on a tangent. Okay, it is family number 4. It is mazid bi harf. Very well done. We have covered that. You have been tested on that, and everyone was supposed to take the test, right? So alqa, yulqi, tulqi. Ya is carrying a fatha to zahira, because an made it mansoob. And which are the mu'attal letters that are going to show you a clear fatha when they are nasb in status? There are 3 letters that are weak letters: harufe, illa, alif, waw, and ya. Which ones are going to show their nasb status with a clear fatha? And this has been also, we have been going over this concept time and again, and which is good. There is ya and waw. Ya and waw. No one should miss that. And you have been given separate notes on all these topics in your short series, right? You have been taught this in your short series. Time has been allocated away from the class time, so that if you need to have a quick recap, you can go back to recording and freshen up your memory, right? So ya and waw, when they are nasbins, if a fail is ending with waw and ya, in nasb status, it will carry a clear fatha, right? If it was alif, what will happen then? Will it show you its nasb status with a fatha? No change. It is going to look the same as in the raf status. So raf and nasb form, raf and nasb form of a fail that ends with alif looks is the same, and you have to determine its nasb status because by context and by seeing what is before it. Yes or no? Do you all agree? And we say that that alif is carrying fatatul muqaddara. Fatatul muqaddara. Okay? So this is very important. Many students have confusion about these very concepts. But if you have, a resource in the notes, please make sure you make use of them. So now comes your tulkiya problem is solved. It is no longer going to be recognized as majhul because it is not majhul. If it was majhul, qaf should have fatha, but qaf is carrying a kasra. It is a word from family number 4 because there is no shadda, there is no extra alif. I have to give it to family number 4, and which it is from family number 4, and the dhamma on alamatul mudari is because of the rule in Arabic language that any fail madin that is 4-lettered, the mudari form of that fail madin is going to be having the alamatul mudari of that very fail is going to have a dhamma, and so is this dhamma there. Okay, so now when you have antulkiya, what are you seeing here? What is going to be happening? Is it going to be treated as jumlatul failure, or it is going to be treated as al masdarul muawwal? Because you in the very beginning there was Sister Faiza said that an masdariya, so it is a masdarul muawwal. Okay, so all of you agree that this is masdarul muawwal, right? When there is masdarul muawwal, there is masdarul muawwal, and you have nothing that is there. This is starting a very new sentence, and I'm seeing Diba has already answered the what she thought of it. Al masdarul muawwal can be mubtada, can be khabar, can be file, can be maf'ul. Can it be all that? What do you think? Yes or no? Right? Can be part of muta'alliq will if there is be before it, or if it is li before it, right? Can be all this. It is just going to act like a regularism. If we cannot connect anything to anything, what should we call it? Can we call it mubtada? Okay, right? You can call it mubtada with, and do you find any khabar for it? Every mubtada has a khabar. Yeah, there is no khabar. Khabar is omitted. And have we done those cases where khabar was not there? We only had mubtada, but there is no khabar. Sometimes we only have khabar and there is no um, mubtada. Yes, we see it in Quran, and here you are going to again say the khabar is omitted. Is this clear to you all? If you do not see a fail before masdarul muawwal, if you don't see any jar wal majroor ni harf before masdarul muawwal, if you don't see it connected to anything, just like any ism by default is what? Remember, go back to your term number 1. By default, every ism is rough in status. And there is every ism is rough in status. If you just do it like that, that will help to determine if it is raf in status and it is either mubtada or khabar. Here it can be mubtada with khabar omitted. Okay, tulkiya is fail, but we did not determine its file. Who is going to be the file for tulkiya? Is it when you have ta as alamatul mudare? Is it going to be hiya or anta? They Qalu, probably these magicians started talking to Musa alayhi salam after they were asked to collect their plan and to come in rows and rows and rows. They said to then Musa, whether you throw or we should be the first ones who throw. It is going to be anta. Tulkiya is with file anta. Is this anta visible? Is it bariz or mustatir? Is anta bariz? No, it is not baris, it is damir mustatir anta. So always remember, you have to make sure that you have your fail wa file. Before determining your file, don't go ahead. Always make sure that it is there. Okay. So just alamatul mudari. Never been going, it's never going to be anything but alamatul mudari. Ta in the beginning, ta in the beginning, noon in the beginning, hamza in the beginning of fail mudari. Hamza, Noon, Ya, Ta are going to be only alamatul mudari, nothing but alamatul mudari. They may help you determine your file, your damir, but that's it. Their role is just they are the, if I asked you what is Hamza, Noon, Ya, Ta, and if I show you any fail, any fail that is mudari, you are just going to call it alamatul mudari. It's just a sign of mudari. Can your pronoun attach itself to the beginning of a word? Can your pronoun, this has been emphasized and re-emphasized in many sessions of the beginning. Remember always your pronoun that can be the doer pronoun. You always see it at the end of the fail, just like we see wawil jama'a at the end of fail. Qalu. Okay. Now, wa imma, waw is going to be harf. Imma, again a harf. And we are going to come back to imma and let's do an nakuna awwala man alqa. Okay. An nakuna. An nakuna. The same thing is being repeated. An masdariya. Nakuna is mudare mansoob bil fatatu zahira. Is it correct, my dear sisters, that you are seeing a clear fatha, which is alamatul nasb in this field? Noon has a fatha, barakallahu feek. Nakuna, fail naqis or tam? Fail naqis or tam? I need an answer. Naqis here. Naqis here. Nakuna, what is going to be the pronoun in nakuna? Who is the pronoun in fail nakuna? Nahnu. My dear sisters, nahnu is damir mustatir or baris here in nakuna? Mustatir. If nakuna is damir mustatir, what is nakuna? Nahnu, sorry. What is not nakuna? What is this damir mustatir? What are you going to give it? How are you going to call it? Ismu. I am loving this ismu kana. I know Sister Shami meant ismu kana, and Rashida agrees with her. She says that, this nahnu is going to be ismu kana. Why? Why are you not calling it file? One answer should be sufficient. No action. No action here. File is for an action. We will be. Is there an action? No action. Okay, right? Or we will be the first ones to throw, but no action. We will be. If I give you nakuna means we will be, or we are the. Is there any action? You are seeing are a helping verb, but does this word has any action in it? Tell me. Is there any amal like we eat, to eat, or write? Is it something like, or read? Is it something like that? No. So because there is no action, you have to call nahnu ismu kana. When you have ismu kana, now there is naskh of jumla ismiya, right? You can no, and still we become. Is it a complete thought? Can we become can you call it a complete sentence? Is we become a complete sentence? Is there an action? We become they will become people of fire. Become, no, become needs some people of fire to have a complete meaning, isn't it? Right? When you have something that needs some other information to have a complete meaning, that cannot be fail tam. That is going to still fall under category of fail naqis, though become has tense and everything. However, if it was to exist, kun fayakun, then there's another story to it, right? So may Allah say kun for all our wishes and desires that are jais, inshallah. So with that, let's come back to, yeah, that is some other thing, okay? To come into existence and then it comes into existence is something very different, right? So here it is, we will be awwala. When you have ismu kana, you look for khabru kana, and Dilrubab knew that, I was looking for khabru kana, and my khabru kana is awwala. Awwala man. Can you connect these two together? Idafa. Very good job, Faiza. So now if I asked you the status of this man, which is, which is mabni ala sakun, it is jaran status, right? It's fi mahali jaran. And alqa, alqa is silatul mawsul. Okay, very good job. So you are seeing here, man is connecting alqa to awwala. Yes or no? So you are just going to call this man as man mawsula. When you are saying that, alqa jumlatul failya is my silatul mawsul, I have understood that you mean to say that this man is mawsula, not shartiya, not istifhamiya. Right? Everyone got this? Man is going to be Mawsula. And you must be wondering sometimes that why I always go back and I ask you these small little details. My dear sisters, the concepts, are going to stay with you as long as you do a quick recap and review. Okay. So no one can claim that I remember each and everything. They are very, very, um, strong students that tend to forget very simple concepts. Yeah. Always remember that. Okay. So man is fi mahalli jarin, and it is majroor bil idafa. Majroor bil idafa means that it is mudaf ilayhi for awwala. That is why it is jarin status. And alqa is silatul mawsul, and it has no i'rab. La mahalla laha min al i'rab, because every sila is la mahalla laha min al i'rab. Yes or no? Okay. So now imma tafsiliya. This is a harf. Do you all agree? Imma is a harf. Usually, whenever you see imma tafsiliya, imma at tafsiliya, you are going to see it repeated. Do you agree that whenever we are seeing imma, we see it, there is a repetition. Its takrar is wajib. Does it make sense that there is one imma followed by another imma? Yes or no? The second imma is preceded by a waw. It is preceded by a waw. So, two views of grammarians about the second imma. About the second imma, which is the second imma that comes after waw, there are two views of scholars about it. Okay. The first is a tafsiliya. What is tafsil of something? What is tafsil? Detail. What is the meaning of tafsil? To give a detail, to elaborate. Yes or no? Do you all agree? Should I put it there so that, when you are doing your notes, you don't forget? To tafsil means to elaborate or to give detail. Make sense? Okay, to elaborate or to give detail. Okay, so this is clear to everyone. So they say the first one is there. So first view, let's look at the first view. They say this is for detailing, and you got a detail that whether you throw, and then comes waw, which is harf atf, and the next one is again for detail. Is it making sense? The both imma that you are seeing in your verse are to give explanation. The second group says the first one is at-tafsiliya, but the second one is atf. Second one is atf. Is this clear to all of you? They call the second one as harf atf, and they call this waw zaida. Have you ever learned waw zaida? Have we ever seen waw zaida? Among the 15 types that you have been taught in Surah Ar-Rahman, I think there were about 15 types. you are going to see, and I'm just referring to our old lectures. The reason being, when you learn one type of zaida, there is always a possibility for more zaidas. Okay, for example, waw as-samaniya. Anyone remembers about waw as-samaniya? The eight, the waw of eight. Yes, yes, barakallahu fi Faiza. I'm very, very, very pleased with that you remember that. No, no, no. The one, Rabbana walakal hamd. That one. Rabbana walakal hamd. Walakal hamd. Where is this wow coming from? When we Rabbana walakal hamd. That one, Zaida. So wow as-samaniya is seen before what? It is seen, as-samaniya means eighth wow. So eight, it is going to be seen before, it is going to guide you towards number eight, that the word that is coming after this wow is eighth in number. Does it ring a bell? Have we covered it in the past? Okay, let me just take you to an example and refresh your memory on that real quick. Okay, here. Okay, now see here. There are, oh, thank God, there are only 2 pages that I have to look from. Okay, now let's see here. Surah Tahrim, verse number 5. Azwajan khayram min kunna muslimatin mu'minatin qanitatin taibatin abidatin sa'ihatin tayyibatin wa abkara. Count how many isms were before this wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? And it came right before the 8th ism. So this wow, did it not tell you the word that is coming after it is 8 in number? Yes or no? ये जो नंबर जो इसम आ रहा है इस वाव के बाद, ये 8वें नंबर पर है. आपको पता चल गया कि this is the 8th ism in this in here. And some people, they ask me that I have no idea what this waw as-samaniya is, though we have covered it in the past, and this example was given to it must be in your notes as well. Okay, but now this is the time for review. Okay, so waw as-samaniya. So do you see waw after every before every 8th word? Let me show you another example. Anyone remembers what number is Suratul Hashr? Hashr. Yes, I'm not very good with that. Okay. Let me take you to Suratul Hashr. Where is that? And this is taking time from what, close to 40? Okay. Jazakallah khair. Let me find it here. 59. Okay, good job. Okay. Alhamdulillah. We got it. Alhamdulillah. Okay, let's see. Suratul Hashr. Okay. Now see, here there are names of Allah mentioned. Al-Malik, Al-Qudus, Al-Salam, Al-Mu'min, Al-Muhaymin, Al-Aziz, Al-Jabbar, Al-Mutakabbir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you see wow? Do you see wow before Al-Mutakabbir? No. But do you expect wow here? Do you expect it? If you are seeing something that is, somewhere and somewhere it is not there, can we call it Zaida? Yes or no? Now, sometimes it is there and sometimes it's not there. Just get the concept. Just think about it. Like, here it was supposed to be before Al-Mutakabbir, right? But you did not see it there. So this is, something that Arabs used to have this, you used to use this wow before the 8th, ism, but it was not always used. So some call it waw as-samaniya, some call this very waw as zaida as well, because it is sometimes there, sometimes not there. Here it can have that meaning. It can have Sister Zohra. Here you can say sometimes it may be there and sometimes it may not be there. For example, let me show you one thing, and that's going to be it. And that's going to be the last gem for this session, and then we'll continue doing what we were supposed to do. Okay, so there is um, let me show you this one. Here it is, Fatah. Okay, you will see in some verses of Quran. Okay, this is Surah Zumar. Can you see these two verses? Okay, let me. Okay. Yes, it can be. Some scholars call it Zaida because it's not always there. So they say that this waw is samania. There's no such thing as a samania. It is just waw Zaida. It should be put under the category of waw Zaida. Some grammarians say it like that. Make sense, my dear sisters? Is it clear to all of you? Sister Sabra is asking that there are two names for waw that comes before the eighth number. So there are two schools of thoughts. So in first school of thought, so people who are listening, they must know that it is waw samania. But since it is not always there, the second group says that it's just zaida. We are just going to call it zaida. We are not going to give it this as-samania name. Okay. So now what are you seeing in Surah Zumar, verse number 71? سِيقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِلَى جَهَنَّمَ زُمَرًا. The people are driven driven to the Jahannam in groups and groups. حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءُوهَا فُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُهَا. How many doors Jahannam has? How many doors Jahannam has? Jahannam. We are talking about Jahannam. It has 7 doors. Okay, it has 7 doors. Okay, it has 7 doors. Now look at the next group. This is the people who are driven to Jahannam. Okay, 7 for hell. Okay, everyone, 7. If you don't know, it's okay. I never knew all this just few years ago, just couple of years ago, I would say. So now come to verse number 73. It is talking about those people who had taqwa of their Rabb. Okay, وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا رَبَّهُمْ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ زُمُرًا حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءُوهَا وَفُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُهَا. Why is this wow here? Now they say, how many doors are there for Jannah? Allah is very merciful. Allah is very merciful. There are 8 doors of Jannah. So they say that this wow is again wow samania because it is there as wow samania because Jannah has 8 doors. But majority scholars are going to call it hal. Yes, I was coming to that, Diba. Or they will call it zaida. Okay? Is this clear to all of you? Is this clear? So, when you go into details, when you go into research, my dear sisters, this is something you are being prepared for. I want you to be an independent researcher. Okay? Allah has given you this book not to just do rafa nasab jar, or not to just do gunnas and beautify your gunnas. And this is all the haqq of Quran. We have to do it. Not saying that we're not, I'm not saying it that you should not be doing that, but some tadabbur. When you go into these researches and you look into why is this there, this is going to open and the doors of balagha for you. What Allah is, and you will really feel that Allah is just there talking to me. This book is for me, and I really found my solace, my peace, this this is how you are going to this is going to open a new door for you, inshallah. So just make sure that you take these lessons and just apply, and then see how different words are done differently. There's another example, but as I told you, this was the only one. That was the last gem for this session. Okay, so I'm not going to overdose anything, because things lose their essence if if they are not done in the right amount. Okay, so now what is the purpose of imma tafsiliya? You see it in Quran time and again. You are going to come across this imma at tafsiliya many times. Okay, so it works very much like a harf aw. So it is going to give you choices between two things, and both choices are going to be allowed. And this happens with imma if it is preceded by some kind of a amr, failul amr. When it is preceded by command, you can do either one. You teach either Arabic or English. I'm giving you both choices. Okay, both are allowed choices for you. Okay, you can teach either Arabic or English. These both choices are given to you and they're allowed. Which this is what is ibaha. Okay, when you are given two choices and both choices are allowed. The second case is when you have to pick one, and that the word for this is takhyir. Who does istikhara every night? Who reads istikhara every night after Isha or whatever time? Who does dua istikhara every day? Anyone? And sometimes it's good to hide your ibadah, but sometimes it gives you other people, something that they should also do this. Okay, so for those of you who do istikhara and who have come across this word istikhara, what are the root letters? Barakallahu fiki. Barakallahu fiki. And may Allah give us tawfiq. All of, kha ya ra. Kha ya ra. Khair. It comes from khair. So istikhara is to choose between something, right? You are given a choice between the two. Takhyir, the same root letters. To choose between the two options with one option only being possible. Okay? So, Zulkarnain has been given, this option. Imma an tu'azziba wa imma an tattaqiza fihim husna. O Zulkarnain, either you punish or you use them for good. Is this, making some sense that Zulkarnain, when he goes to that city, he's been, Ya Zulkarnaini, either you punish or you use them for good. So this is one of the purposes of imma. The next purpose is it can sometimes be used for doubt. Sayazurani imma sa'idun wa imma sa'idu wa imma mas'ud. So here there is a doubt. Either Sa'id or Mas'ud will meet me. So I don't know which one, but either it can be Sa'id or it can be Mas'ud. So I'm still in doubt. So this harf imma can sometimes does a job of creating doubt. Is this clear? Is this clear so far? Alhamdulillah. Sometimes it is used for ibham. Like, there is ibham. There's something to make us, for suspense, you can say, for ambiguity, to keep something obscure. وَآخَرُونَ مَرْجُونَ لِأَمْرِ اللَّهِ إِمَّا يُعَذِّبَهُمْ إِمَّا يُعَذِّبُهُمْ وَإِمَّا يَتُوبُ إِلَيْهِ. So there are others who hope for the order of Allah, for the word of Allah. Imma yu'azibuhum, either he punishes them or he shows mercy to them. So there are four purposes of this harf imma of tafsiliya. It can be used for ibaha, just like aw. It can be used for takhyir. It can be used for shak. It can be used for ibham. Whatever comes after it, it is going to be dependent on whatever is before it. Okay, that is going to determine the role of whatever is after it. For example, just real quick, in case of Sa'id, it is the file is coming after imma, and this has been there for to have doubt, to bring a doubt in the mind of whosoever is learning this or whosoever is reading this sentence. So now come back to your Surah Taha. This is little bit about imma, and we are going to learn more details in our upcoming session, a little bit more, not a whole lot, but let me just take you back to the surah and let's just finish it off. Okay, Surah Taha, and we were on verse number, oh no, who remembers the verse number? Okay, it's close to 68 or something. Okay, now comes your next sentence. And in this case, after learning our imma, again, this masdarul mu'awwal, this whole is masdarul mu'awwal, and it is again going to be mubtada, and it is going, what will be the status of this one and why it is going to be that status? It is atf. Very well done. It is going to be again al-masdarul mu'awwal raf in status bil atf, right? Bil atf. Which view do you want to take? Whichever view you want to follow of grammarians. There is this is there to connect this whole part, this masdarul mu'awwal to the first one. So they are going to be both raf in status. And no matter what is causing the atf, either it is waw, either it is waw or imma itself, where waw is zaida, it is going to be raf in status bil atf. It is going to be raf in status bil atf. Okay. Next comes qala, qala, and this is who is saying. Jumlatul failya will file damir mustatir huwa, and damir is going back to who? Yaudu ala Musa, right? It is going back to Musa alayhi salam. Barakallahu feek. And after every qala yakulu, look for makulul call, which may not be always there, but there is a fair chance. In 90% of cases, you are seeing a makulul call and bal alku. Rather, you all throw. He is telling the magicians to throw. Okay. So when he said bal alku, bal is a harf. And this is going to be for our next session. Okay. Today, we have already learned a lot. So I don't want to fry your brains. This is for the next session. Bal alku. Alku. What are we seeing here? Alku. Failul amr. Failul amr. You all throw. And how many? And every fail has a file. This failul amr has a file that is antum. And how do I know that there is antum? Because of wawil jama'a. And I know every standard failul jama'a. Jama'a. Just like, jim, mim, alif, ain, and ta marbuta. Okay. Wawil jama is going to be seen in ism. Wawil jama'a is going to be seen in af'al. Okay. Yes, Sister Zohra. These are the spelling with ta marbuta at the end. Just, you have to change it to ta marbuta, and that's good to go. Alku. So wawil jama in the end, and alif is for tafriq or aliful fariqa. And this sentence is going to be your makulul qawl fi mahalli nasbin. Right? Everyone agrees? Makulul qawl fi mahalli nasbin. Very well done. The next sentence is coming, and it's a very interesting sentence. Okay. فَإِذَا حِبَالُهُمْ وَأَصِيُّهُمْ. So now, fa, is it making connection with whatever is before? Can I say that, they were asked to throw, then when their, staffs and ropes, so what happened then? So something happened then. Okay. You are seeing iza. How many types of iza have you learned in this course? Very well done, Dilruba. Very well done, Faiza. You have learned 2 types. In our course, we have learned, okay, so main 2 types. Okay, if you are starting from the start, yes, you can say the 2, it is no ain. So can be harfiya and ismiya. When you look at ismiya, how many types of iza? Al-ismiya. Who's going to write? There are 2 types of iza al-ismiya. There are 2 types of iza al-ismiya, and they include iza shartiya, zarfiya, and it can be iza zarfiya, ghair shartiya, right? Because there are many examples of that in your last surahs, and I don't want you to miss those examples. Okay? So iza al-ismiya is of 2 types. My dear sisters, listen and type 1 if you remember. And if you don't, just make sure you write it on your notes again. Okay? Iza al-ismiya can be iza shartiya zarfiya. And it can be iza zarfiya ghair shartiya. That it does not have connotation of shart. Okay? And we have clearly seen examples of that in last surahs. Wan najmi iza hawa. Right? It is not shartiya. It is zarfiya though, but not shartiya. Right? When it comes to al-harfiya, how many types? And you were all supposed to listen to that small series because I found one more type and I wanted you all to remember and memorize that as well. So there is al-fujaiya, which is the main type you are going to commonly see in Quran. And then it can be of another type. Iza al-harfiya is fujaiya, and it can be, there is one more type for that too. Okay. Sister Faiza, do you remember? It's very similar to skip your mind. Okay, that's okay, because there are not many examples there. I don't think there's any example in Quran. So it can be iza tafsiriya, right? Iza tafsiriya, right? That there, whatever comes after it is the tafsir of whatever is um before it. It clarifies whatever has been there. Okay, let me quickly take you to that. Just so that we do not forget, and everyone knows that we have to go back to that, and we have to listen to that small lecture again. Okay, and it's just so brief, it should not take you a lot of time. Okay, inshallah. So Google Slides, let me ask Google Slides to take me to my short series. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Very good job. That's not what I want right now. Okay, sign in is not going to work. Okay, so to my and here I have short series. Okay. Since all of you are advanced students who are sitting in this class, because otherwise, this class is for advanced and this is for you all. Okay. So iza tafsiriya has a meaning of that is to say, or I. Okay. And istaghfartullah, I seek forgiveness from Allah. Iza talabtu minhul maqfara, that is to say, I seek from him maghfirah or forgiveness. Does it make sense or no? So the sentence that comes after it, it is going to be followed by a sentence, okay? And this jumla is going to be called jumlatu tafsiriya. And all sentences that give you explanation or are called jumlatu tafsiriya are going to be la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. Very well done. People who read my mind, I love that. And I love them actually. And who know what I'm going to ask. Yeah, because this is, I do it for a reason. No, yeah, they're dangerous, but I should be very careful about what thoughts I have for other people. Then in that case, right? I should be mindful that I should have good thoughts in my brain, so that if somebody is really reading my mind, they get good from it, right? Alhamdulillah. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, and I'm working on that. I'm not perfect, I'm still working on that. I have to work every day. Sometimes I lose it, which is very bad. So my dear sisters, you all have to listen. Okay, so there may be I think I in the lecture also I just gave one example, but my dear sisters, just take a screenshot of this, go back to it, that izal harfiya can be of two types. Now when you look at this one, can it be tafsiriya by any chance? Do you think it looks like tafsiriya? Yeah, you have shared in group. I know you told me that, I asked you to, and you did. Alhamdulillah. So iza here is going to be which type? Fujaiya, it is harf. Harfiya, is it fujaiya? Yes, I already saw those answers. So it is harf and harf fujaiya. And is if it is fujaiya, is this sentence which is coming after it going to be fi mahalli jar? What do you think? Can I call it fi mahalli jar in mudaf ilayhi? Why not, Sister Faiza? Why are you disagreeing? You all are disagreeing with me. Why? I'm very sad. Very good job, because you are very smart and you know that there cannot be a mudaf ilayhi for her. Very well done. With that, I will end the session and we'll continue with our Surah Taha review in our next session. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear sisters.